Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are going to be looking at another set of concepts in the advanced SQL section. Okay, so this is very much a part of the Excel to SQL series, or I'm just using Google Sheets for convenience. Okay, so in today's video we are going to be looking at a ranking of numbers. We're going to be looking at ordering. So there are three functions here. There's row number, there is rank, and there is dense rank. Okay, so we're going to see what the differences in each of them are and what you can use when. Okay, because this is going to become quite common, especially when you're trying to order certain rows based on maybe let's say salary in this case, or quantity, or anything of that sort, right? So all of that will come handy when you understand the difference between these functions. So before we proceed, if you are new to the channel, I would really love it if you can subscribe to the channel, if you can check out all the videos, and also comment and let me know what you think about them and what are the kind of videos I should be putting on this channel. Alright, so what we're going to be doing in today's video is I'm going to be first explaining what the difference between these three is in context with this little table, a fake table that I have over here. Okay, and then we're going to be solving a problem on Datalemur, okay, where we are going to see how to use this concept to get an answer that is expected out of us. Okay, so Datalemur, as you know, is a site where you can go ahead and practice your SQL questions. So if you just take a look at that, we have all kinds of SQL questions over here, and it's not just for SQL. You have even for Python and for machine learning and everything. So see, you have all these questions. Okay, so some of the questions are free if you do not have a premium. Some of the questions are open, but some of them are not. But anyways, this is a great way to get started with some practice questions, especially if you're just starting to work with SQL. Okay, so I have put a link for signing up to Datalemur in the description video. This is not a sponsored post by Datalemur, but I just wanted to endorse this as it has helped me a lot, especially when I need a crash course just before my interviews. All right, so let's go ahead into the section. So now we have three functions: row number, rank, and dense rank. So what the syntax is going to be, we will look at that when we solve the problem, but I'm just going to explain what the differences between the three of them are. Okay, so row number is essentially a serial number. Okay, like how you have serial numbers for every row. Okay, what you put in the left side, right? It's just going to be that. Okay, so if it's just going to be that, it's going to be 1, this is going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so that's how it's going to show up. So when you do that, this becomes your serial number. So when you use this function, you're just getting a row number. Okay, it's not tied to any value, it's not tied to anything in the dimensions. Okay, it's just simply a row number. Okay, now the real difference comes here between rank and dense rank. Okay, so we are going to understand what the difference between this is. Rank is essentially ranking the rows, right? You are ranking the rows based on a certain criteria, either in the ascending or descending order. Okay, and you're also ranking it based on if you want any dimension to influence that rank. Okay, so now for example, let us look at the salary column over here. Okay, so if you can see, this data set is arranged in the descending order. Okay, so primarily, let's say we are trying to rank it, so we are going to see what's the highest salary and all that stuff, right? So if you look at this, rank is going to be, so this is going to be our top two values, the first rank. Okay, because that's the highest value within this table. All right, so when we do that, we are going to assign the rank value over here. So this is definitely going to be 1, okay, because that's rank 1. Okay, but if you see here, Charlie also has a tied value of the same value. Okay, so which means he also shares the first rank, right? Because the salary value is the same for both of them. Okay, so in that case, he's also going to get the first rank. However, the number that will output over here is going to be 1 and not 2. Why is that? Because both of them get the same rank as per this value, as per the value of the salary. Okay, so both of them go into the first rank position. And what happens is here, because because you have this value coming over here as a second row, the rank gets skipped. Okay, so when they both get the same rank, the next rank that will happen is incremented by how many rows came before it. Okay, so if this is the case, so how many rows came before it? So now this is the next one. So how many rows are before it? 2 rows, right? So this is not going to be 2, this is going to be 2 plus 1, 3. It's going to skip the rank, okay, because it counts the tied rows that way. Okay, the tied rows, because these are tied rows, so it's counting it as a single row, but you are skipping the rank over here. Okay, the rank 2 is completely skipped because it's these two are having the same rank. So then this becomes 1 1 3, this will become 4 because that's the next one. Now again there is a value share over here, so this will become 5, this will also become 5, and this will become 7. Oops, this will become 7 and this will become 8. So if you apply the rank function over this by the salary, this is how you're going to be getting the output. Okay, so the next rank is determined by how many rows precede this. Okay, so if you see here, there are 2 rows preceding this, so it's going to be 2 plus 1 3. That's how the ranking will happen over here. Okay, and it's counting the rows, it's not counting just the distinct values. Okay, so in this case it's not counting the distinct values, it's counting the rows, how many rows have the same value. Okay, so which is why you see it's counting that, and that's how the tied rows are and that's how the ranks are getting skipped. So this is how it comes in rank. Now in dense rank it's different. Okay, in dense rank what happens is you will get the rank as is, but you are not going to skip the rank. Okay, so if 7,000 years here, this one is also going to be 1 and 1. Okay, because that's how the ranking is done that way only. Both of them share the same values, they share the same rank. However, this 6,000 is not going to be 3, it's going to be 2. Why? Because that's the fundamental difference between rank and dense rank. You do not skip ranks in dense rank. Okay, whereas you skip the ranks in the rank function if the value is repeated. Okay, so this is going to be 1, this is going to be 1, this is going to be 2, then again you have 3, and then you have another 2 sets of values that are similar, so 4 4, that will be 5, and this will be 6. So if you see, the rank is not broken over here, whereas the rank is broken over here. Alright, so this is the fundamental difference between all three of them. The row number is very straightforward with just serialing, but these two are very important to understand how they are ranked and how they work when the values are same. Okay, and how the skipping of the rank happens. Okay, so you need to understand what kind of ranking are you doing for your problem statement, and then accordingly you need to choose the you need to choose which rank function you have to use. Alright, so with that concept in mind, let us now go ahead and solve the Datalemur question. Okay, I hope this concept is clear, and if you are clear with this concept and if you get it, you can practice it elsewhere. You can probably skip the practice question that I'm doing right now and then do the practice question elsewhere. But you know, if you really want to continue watching the practice question as well, then you can continue staying on the video. Thank you very much. Alright, so Datalemur, the question is top 3 salaries. It's a FANG SQL question. So let's take a look at what we have here. So as part of an ongoing analysis of salary distribution, your manager is requested to report identifying the highest earners in each department. Okay, a high earner is defined as an employee with a salary ranking among the top 3 salaries within that department. Okay, so you're tasked with identifying the high earners across all the department. Note, they are asking you for the high earners across all departments. Okay, so write a query to display the employee's name, department name and salary. In case of duplicate, sort the department name in ascending order, then by salary. If multiple employees have the same salary, then order them alphabetically. Okay, ensure to utilize appropriate ranking window function to handle the duplicate salary. Okay, so okay. So then there's some disclaimer over here. Alright, so what do we have here? So we have 2 tables over here. One is an employee table and one is a department table. Okay, so now what we need to see is this. I have the table over here. So this is the table that we have. Okay, so if you can always get the table by just doing select star from is it employee. Okay, so I have this table. If you just do a select star, you get this table. That is what I have pasted over here. Okay, and then the other one that we have is department, I think. So department, when you do this, you get this. So it's a small table with department ID and department name. So we know we have 3 departments that we have over here. Okay. So this is the one over here. What is this column again? Sorry. So I'm just going to check what column is this. Department ID, manager ID. Okay. This is going to be the manager ID. All right. Now, so we have these 2 tables. Okay. So it's got the name, it's got the salary, department ID and manager ID. Okay. So we have 3 departments, the IDs over here. Okay. Now the first things first, we need the department name because that's what is asked over here, right? The department name and salary. So we need to get this department name over here. So to do that, we have to join these 2 tables. Okay. So if you haven't seen my video on joins, I've put a link to in the description below. Okay. So you can go check it out. But we have to bring these 2 tables together. Okay. Because I want this name. Okay. So in the Excel world, what you would have done is you would have just done a simple VLOOKUP. Okay. So I'm just going to take this. Okay. Do this comma 2 comma 0, right? And you see you get the department name attached with this table. Okay. Why is that happening? Because this department ID is the primary key, or it's the common key that has the common IDs, okay, based on which you are doing the join. Okay, you're doing an inner join, or you're doing a left join over here. Okay, so inner join is where only the matching elements in both the tables will come together in the new table. Only if they match, the values come and join together. If they don't match, they are eliminated. Okay. Right. So the first things we need to do is this. Okay. And then we need to get this output. Let's see what the output looks like. So this is the output that they're expecting us to give. Department name and salary. Okay, department name and salary. Okay, so if you see how the table is, if you see how these 2 tables are, you realize that you have to manipulate this table in a certain way to get the output that we need. All right, so let's do like this. Oops, I closed the question. Let me just go back to that. Yeah. All right, so now let us start working on this. So the first thing we need to do is we need to understand how to change this table. Okay, so we need to get the values. So we need to rank the value of the salary because we need to find the top 3 salaries in every department. Okay, so let's start by first writing the query and getting the rank. Okay, so select. In this case, what we will do is I think we will take name, salary and department. We don't need manager ID as it doesn't really fit what we're trying to do. So select what is this, name, and then salary, and then department underscore ID, right? That's the 3 columns. So name, salary, department ID. Okay, from employee. Okay. So this is what we will take. Okay, now let's try to expand this a little bit. We are now trying to rank the salary. Okay, so if you're trying to rank the salary, we are getting the top 3 salaries. Okay, we want the top 3 earners. We are not asking for the top 3 salaries. We are asking for the top 3 earners. Okay, so in this case, what we are going to do is we are going to see how to rank this. So we are going to be using dense rank in this case. And why is that? Because I want to get the proper 3 earners, even if they are tied. Okay, even if 2 people are tied, let's say 2 people have the same salary. Do we have any instances over here of that? Yes, we have this one here, 4,000 and 4,000. Okay, so if they share a rank, okay, let's say they're sharing the first rank, or let's say if they're sharing the second rank. Okay, so then both these values will come, and then somebody with a third rank also should come. Okay, I do not want to skip the rank. Okay, I may get one person with, let's say, 5,000 and then 4,000, and the third person is also 4,000. Okay, but I want to see the third highest salary as well. I don't want ties. I don't want to skip that rank. So that is why we are using dense rank in this case. Okay, if I just wanted the names, okay, then maybe a rank would make sense. But in this case, I want the name and the salary, the top 3 highest earners. So if there is a tie somewhere, then I want to see what the third value is as well. Alright, so that is why we are using the function dense rank in this case. Okay, so I'm just going to come here and show you now how we are going to write that. So dense rank, it's going to start like this, dense rank. Then we have this over. Now this is a window function. So why do we call these window functions? Because you are working around a frame of rows. Okay, you're working around a frame of rows or a set of rows in this. Okay, so when I say dense rank over, I am saying you have to do the ranking over what the rows are. So this is where we will specify how to do the ranking. So after dense rank over, and I'm going to say partition by. So partition by is a keyword where you're saying you have to partition the rows by a certain dimension. Okay, or dimension or dimensions, and then do the ranking. Okay, so now in this case what I'm going to do is I am going to be looking at partitioning this by the department ID. Why? Because we need to get the ranking for every department, right? We need the top three rankers, the top three high ranking in salary for every department. Okay, so which is why we are doing partition by department. So partition by department ID. And then how are we ordering the salary? We are looking at top three salaries, right? The top three salaries we are looking at. So therefore what we need to do is we need to then say order by salary DESE. Okay, and I'm going to alias this. So let's kind of shrink this window a little bit. Yeah, so I'm going to order this as alias this as ranking. Okay, so again we'll look at the syntax: dense rank over partition by department ID, order by salary DESE. So this is your entire syntax. Okay, now if I run this, oh, there's an error. I think there's no comma here. Yeah, that's the order. Yeah. Now if I run this, you can see name, salary, department ID, and if you see the ranking here, so this is department 1. Okay, then department 2, then department 3, right? So if you see here, now department 1, 7,000 is the highest, it's rank 1. Then there are two people, as we saw earlier, rank 2. Okay, and then there is a Emma Thompson who is 3,800 at rank 3. So essentially I want all these names. Why? Because I want 3 ranks, 1, 2 and 3. Right, what's the first highest salary, who is it, what's the second highest salary, who is it, or how many are there in this, and then like who are the other guys having the same salary, and then the third as well. Similarly, if you scroll down, this is department 2. Okay, so you have 8,000 as rank 1, 7,000 and 6,000. So here we have 3, there are no duplicates here. Okay, and I think that same goes for the next one as well, where we are seeing no duplicates here as well. So 13,000, then 12,500, 11,000, right? That's how it's showing up. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to get the we need to only output those names, whatever names we saw, right? Only those names need to be output. But however, because we have a window function over here, we cannot directly add anything, or we cannot use this as a filtering mechanism yet, because this is just a created column out of a window function. Alright, so what we are going to do is we are going to be using a CTE. Okay, what are we going to do as a CTE? We are going to save this as a common table expression and then use the output of this to write another query and then come up with this. Okay, and in any way we have to get the department name yet. We don't have the department name, right? We are still in department ID. This step that we did over here, okay, to getting this name is still not done. Okay, so to do this join, we have to do that in the next query, in the query outside. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this as a CTE. So that is with rank salary. Let's name it as rank salary, and then as, and I'm going to put this bracket. Okay, so I have covered how to write, how to deal with CTEs, how to write a CTE, and what does it do and everything in a separate video. I have put the link to that in the description, so you can check it out if you haven't. Okay, so now that I have added this into the CTE, what I am now going to do is I am going to take this table and I am going to the next phase, which is select. Okay, now I am going to manipulate this table itself. I have to get the department name, and then I need to only output the top 3 the top 3 highest earners. Okay, so select, first I'm going to take I'm going to take this d dot department name. Okay, and then I'm going to say r dot name comma r dot salary. Okay, now you might ask me why this name is highlighted, because name is also a keyword that's used in the SQL world. It won't make much of a difference here, but it's always good to have what is that, a separate name so that it doesn't clash. So I'll just name this as ename, okay, and salary. All right, so now I have select department. So what I'm doing here is I'm aliasing this department name as D from the department table. Okay, so that is as D. Okay, so I'm getting this name, and then this R ename and R salary is coming from this rank salary. So what we're essentially trying to do is we are going to join this department table with the rank salary table. I know I've shown this over here, which is basically that, but the only difference between this table and that table is this manager ID is gone and it is replaced by a rank. Okay, but the department ID still remains. So the join that I've shown here is correct, just that the table is a little different. Okay, so what we're doing is we are joining this rank salary table with the department. Okay, so I'm going to say select d.department r.employee name r.salary from rank underscore salary as R. Okay, so I have alias this table rank salary as R, and then I'm going to say inner join, which and I'm going to say the second table, which is department as D. Okay, so I have specified what's the join. I've specified the second table that I want to join with rank salary as R, and then I'm going to say on. So how are you going to join this on? The department ID. So D dot department ID is equal to R dot department ID. Okay, so now when I do this, so we don't have any summation functions. If I run this, column ename does not exist. Why? Okay, I think I'm just going to stick to name for this. Not sure why that error is coming. Oh yeah, I know it now, because this ename, I did not change this ename in the, I should have made it name as ename. Yes, I should have done it like this, then it would have worked. But okay, I'm not going to complicate this. I'm just going to keep it simple. All right, so now when I do this, you can see that there's a department name, there is a name, and there is a salary. Okay, we have not included the rank over here because they don't want to see the rank number. They just want to see this. They just want to look at name, department name and salary. All right, now with this table, because you're joining this table and the department table, you can now use this ranking as a filtering column. Okay, you can use this rank for filtering. Okay, and what should be the filtering for the rank? If you we saw that in the earlier instance, okay, where we had 1, 2, 2, 3 and all that, right? So basically we need to get 3 ranks. Okay, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, irrespective of how many rows are sharing the same value. So we need to get the ranking of 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to say where ranking, which is this column that we created with dense rank, ranking is less than or equal to 3. And now when I run this, okay, so now you can see that you look at the department. Okay, so we have Olivia Smith, James Anderson, Amelia, Emma Thompson, all in data analytics department. But why are there 4 values? 7,000, 4,000, 4,000, 3,800. The next one, data science, 1, 2, 3, 4, another 4 guys here, right? So 8,000, 7,000, 6,800, 6,800. Okay, and then you see here, it's only here that we don't have any duplicates. So data engineering, 13,000, 12,500 and 11,000. Okay, so this is the output that we needed, and this is how we came up with that output. All right, so that's exactly what we saw in the earlier instance. So I'm just going to go back to that table and show you how this output came about. Okay, so when you look at this, see, you have this ranking over here, correct? And now you have the department ID. So 1, 2, 2, 3. These 4 values will get selected because we took the filtering of ranking as less than or equal to 3. So which means 3, 2, 1, all of them will come and the other values get ignored. Similarly, in this case as well, you have the second department. So these 4 values will get, these 4 values will get, because these two 6,800 and 6,800 are the same. So less than equal to 3. Okay, and then in the last one you have unique, so 1 2 3, so it only selects these values. Okay, so that's exactly what happened in this case. When you do that, this is the output you get. If we submit this, let's see, queries output does not match. Okay, why does it not match? Okay, interesting. I think it should match because we got everything right. Is there an order in the columns? Okay, I need to expand this. 7,000, 4,000, 4,000, 3,800. Okay, that's my output. What is the output expected here? 7,000, 3,800. Oh, yes, I completely forgot. I completely forgot about the sorting. Okay, yes. So, if you see here, this is what was told to us. That in case of duplicate, you have to sort the results of the department name in the ascending order. Okay, and then the salary by descending order. If multiple employees have the same salary, order them alphabetically. We completely skipped the ordering part. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go order by. So the first thing we're going to order by is the department name, right? So d dot department name ASC. Okay, so you have to display the employee's name, sort the department name in ascending order, then salary in the descending order. So s dot salary, sorry, r dot salary, DESC, because that's in the descending order, and then we have a couple of employees that are in this one, right? So employee name is also going to be in the ascending order. Okay, so I'm just going to name it as our name. You don't have to write ASC, but I think in this case let's write it because we have multiple sorting things going on here. Okay, so now when I run this, right, so you have data analytics, data engineering, and then data science. Okay, that's based on this A, E, and S, and then the rest of the things remain the same. So if I submit this now, I think we should be in a good spot. Yep, and that's the right answer. Okay, so this is how it's going to be, right? You may think you have the answer, but then you're probably missing something in the question. Okay, so I hope this was useful. But before we end this video, I just want to show you about now that we got how to do this problem, and I hope this was clear. I just still want to show you the difference, okay, of how these outputs come about, okay, for the other two instances. So we did not discuss about what would it look like if we added row number and rank. Okay, so now when I run this, you saw how the ranking happened. So 1 2 2 3 4 5, you know, it doesn't skip the rank. But now if I use, let's say, the other two functions, let's say I use row number. So when we were talking about the syntax earlier, the syntax remains the same. Okay, you need to understand its row, the function call over, and then you write what are you partitioning it by and ordering it by. Okay, so this can vary what's inside. You sometimes don't have to partition, you can just do order, or you're only partitioning, or you're ordering in ascending order. It can be anything. Okay, so this depends on your context. Okay, but these things remain the same. But when you're adding a function over here, this entire syntax remains the same. So if I just add row number without changing anything, you can see how the ranking is happening. 1 2 3 4 5 6, 1 2 3 4, and 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, just like a serial number. Now if I add rank, if I just replace this with rank and I run this, now look at this. So you have salary Olivia 7,000, that's first, 4,000 second, 2, 4,000 is also second because they have the same value, and then you can see the next value is a 4. It skips the values. Why? Because how many rows come before this? 3 rows. So 1 plus 3 is equal to 4. Okay, so that's how the tied rows are being calculated and added. Okay, similarly if you see here 1 2 3 3, and then 1 2 3 4. Okay, so I just wanted to show you what happens if you use row number or rank instead, because the functionality becomes the same. You just need to change this function over here. All right, so I hope this video was helpful, and I hope you can use it in your day-to-day work. Please do like this video, please do comment and let me know what you thought about it, whether this confused you too much or whether it was complex or anything of that sort. Okay, and I shall try to help you out with that in the comment section. Okay, and please do subscribe to the channel. if you enjoyed this, and I hope you could share this with your friends who would be struggling to understand these concepts as well. Okay, I'll be coming up with more data related content around SQL and around other tools as well, maybe incorporating a few AI tools into the picture as well, so that we can use AI to sharpen our learning too. Okay, so I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much.